General Hospital spoilers reveal 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 will ask if 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 is embarrassed to be seen together, while 𝚍𝚎 Spencer pressures Nina Reeves. For starters, Alexis Davis will wonder what the hell someone was thinking as she catches up with Christina Corinthos Davis. This might involve the hit piece on Drew that'll be blowing up all over Port Charles. Alexis may question Drew's actions, but she may not be thrilled about Curtis Ashford's decision to splash this all over the news, either since it could affect 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑. While Alexis turns to Curtis for answers, Rick Lansing will bring some troubling updates to Portia Robinson regarding her blackmail situation and her lack of options. When Portia asks if it's as bad as she thinks, Rick will admit it's worse. Both Rick and Portia will worry about how Drew might retaliate following the public takedown that Curtis unleashed in the media. At GH, Drew will wonder if Willow is embarrassed to be seen with him after the article about Congressman Quartermain being under fire spreads. Willow may assure Drew that she could never be ashamed of what they share, and when Carly gets into an argument with Drew later, Willow will rush to his defense. Next, Laura Collins will applaud Curtis for his efforts to expose Drew's bad behavior. Drew will deserve it as far as Laura's concerned, so she'll think Curtis made the right call here. As Elizabeth Baldwin and Lucky Spencer's feelings for each other grow stronger, their plans will get derailed. That may be due to Laura's arrival, since she's going to catch up with Lucky and Liz soon. In the meantime, the Golden Bachelorette's Guy Gansert will play a wildlife journalist named Jeffrey Beckett, so Nina will flirt with Jeffrey as she brings him on board for a Crimson Nature and Travel series. Once Eva shows up in Nina's office, she'll chat with Jeffrey as well. Both Nina and Eva will be rather charmed by Jeffrey, who'll admit he's single and will perhaps enjoy the attention. At some point, Eva will have a special request for Nina. This could involve Portia's blackmail drama if Eva thinks Nina can help deal with it. Regardless, Carly will ultimately meet up with Nina and insist they have to put their plan in motion now. Maybe Carly will make a prediction about Drew putting Willow under his spell, even more if they don't act fast. Could this lead to Nina breaking in Drew's safe at his new house, since that's clearly part of her scheme? Could Nina potentially try to steal back Drew's dirt on Portia in the midst of all this? In the steam room, Harrison Chase will relax with Dante Falconeri and ask if something happened that made him want to cut Lulu Spencer some slack. General Hospital spoilers say Dante's on the verge of making a confession, so he may spill that Lulu was still in love with him before she fell into the coma, according to Maxie Jones. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers hint 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 is one of the most hated men in Port Charles right now, as well as one of the most hated characters among fans. But what happened? As one of the top leading men in the daytime drama, he spiraled in a very short time. Drew certainly started shifting into a shadier version of himself after his prison stint at Pentonville. But considering this history, surely his time in the slammer isn't the reason for his current slimeball ways. 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 is a changed man. How does one go from being a top hero to a lead zero in a soap opera? From the moment Drew was released from prison, fans, along with Carly Spencer and Sam McCall, saw a change in Drew. It's hard to downplay Drew's prison beating, but considering he was a Navy SEAL and was also kept captive for years on Cassadine Island when everyone thought he was dead, how could a few months at Pentonville, and even getting beat up, cause such a dramatic change in Drew's personality? After he returned from the compound prison to Port Charles, he was the same old Drew. So is Pentonville the reason for his drastic personality changes, or could there be another reason? Does 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 have an unknown brain injury? Drew was badly beaten up in Pentonville, and the incident almost cost him his life. Is there a possibility that Drew's head got hit harder than the doctors noticed? Could he have a brain injury from underlying tissue that swelled up and was once undetected, but now has surfaced? Then again, maybe Drew has a brain tumor. It's a soap opera storyline that has played out before that could certainly once again work in this circumstance. ABC General Hospital spoilers reveal that a shocking catastrophe is about to strike Port Charles, sending shockwaves through the entire city. A devastating bomb explosion will occur just outside the 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 estate, turning a place of prestige and power into a ground zero of chaos and destruction. The impact will be felt far beyond the estate itself, with the echoes of the blast shaking the very foundations of Port Charles. The aftermath will be nothing short of horrifying, smoke billowing into the sky, flames flickering ominously, debris scattered across the once pristine property. The residents of the estate will be left in a state of panic, running for their lives, unsure of whether another explosion could follow. But amidst the terror, one person will bear the brunt of this tragedy more than anyone else: Lulu. The explosion will throw her into the air, leaving her critically wounded. When the dust settles, the sight of Lulu lying unconscious, covered in blood and debris, will send chills through everyone who lays eyes on her. A moment that should have never happened. A life hanging in the balance yet again. Just as she was beginning to reintegrate into life after waking from her coma, fate has once again delivered a cruel and merciless blow. Lulu, who had already endured so much, now finds herself back at the brink of death, caught in the crossfire of a sinister attack. The very moment that was supposed to mark her return to normalcy has now transformed into a nightmare, throwing her family into a desperate race against time to save her life. The explosion will send a ripple effect through Port Charles, with its residents frozen in horror as news of the incident spreads like wildfire. The 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 estate, a place that had been at the center of political maneuvering, corporate battles, and deep-rooted family conflicts, is now a crime scene. But the biggest question remains: who planted the bomb and why? Was this an attack meant to send a message, or was it a personal vendetta against someone inside the estate? As emergency responders flood the scene, sirens wailing and ambulances lining the roads, Lulu's unconscious form will be rushed into the hospital in critical condition. Doctors will fight desperately to keep her alive, but the severity of her injuries will leave everyone on edge. The fear of losing her again, just after she had miraculously survived her previous coma, will push her loved ones into an emotional spiral. Dante will be among the first to arrive at the hospital, his face pale with dread as he watches Lulu being wheeled into surgery. Charlotte, already struggling to reconnect with her mother after years of separation, will be devastated, her fragile sense of security shattered once more. Laura, always the strong matriarch, will be overcome with grief and rage, demanding answers as to why her daughter continues to suffer tragedy after tragedy. But the terror doesn't stop at Lulu's bedside. The investigation into the explosion will uncover shocking truths, throwing more lives into turmoil. As authorities work to determine who was behind the attack, secrets long buried beneath the surface of Port Charles will begin to unravel. Was the bomb meant for a 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑? Did it have ties to corporate rivalries, organized crime, or even political sabotage? Or was Lulu the target all along? What makes this disaster even more chilling is the sense that it is only the beginning. Whoever orchestrated this attack did so with a purpose, and it is unlikely they will stop now. The explosion is not just an isolated incident. It is a declaration of war, a message that someone is willing to go to extreme lengths to get what they want, no matter how many lives are caught in the crossfire. As the city reels from the blast, tensions will mount, relationships will be tested, and fears will grow that Port Charles is on the verge of an even greater crisis. The attack on the 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 estate is a warning, but no one knows who the next target will be. As Lulu lies in the hospital, her fate uncertain, her survival will determine more than just her own future. If she recovers, she may hold the key to unlocking the mystery behind the explosion. But if she succumbs to her injuries, the truth may die with her, leaving a dangerous enemy lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike again. This is no ordinary act of violence. This is an event that will change everything. Port Charles will never be the same after this, and neither will the people who call it home. The returns, new faces, and power struggles shake Port Charles. General Hospital is about to experience a major shift as familiar faces return, and new arrivals send shockwaves through Port Charles. Longtime fans will rejoice at the homecomings of beloved characters, but it's the fresh arrivals that will truly shake up the status quo. The return of key figures will reignite old rivalries, reopen unresolved storylines, and stir up emotions that have long been buried. Whether it's a Cassidy making a grand reappearance or a past lover resurfacing with unfinished business, these comebacks will set the stage for unexpected confrontations and major power shifts. However, it's the newcomers who will plunge Port Charles into absolute chaos. A mysterious new player in the city's criminal underworld could threaten long-standing alliances, while an unexpected addition to General Hospital may turn the hospital's power dynamics upside down. Whether it's a new agent within the WSB, a dangerous outsider with a secret agenda, or a seemingly innocent stranger with ties to a dark past, these fresh faces will change everything. As secrets unravel and tensions explode, Port Charles will never be the same. Jeffrey and Vaugh's explosive debuts. Jeffrey and Vaughn are set to make their first appearances in Port Charles, setting the stage for new intrigue, tension, and unexpected alliances. While the town is no stranger to mysterious newcomers, both men bring an aura of uncertainty that could shift the power dynamics in ways no one expects. Their arrivals are no mere coincidences. There's something deeper at play, and their interactions with Nina Reeves and Jocelyn Jacks will ignite conflicts that will only escalate over time. Jeffrey, a distinguished wildlife journalist, appears to be an outsider with no connections to the usual power players in Port Charles. However, he quickly becomes entangled with Nina Reeves, drawing her into a world she never anticipated. Jeffrey isn't just another passing figure. He carries a quiet confidence that suggests he knows more than he lets on. Nina, who has been embroiled in endless personal and professional drama, finds herself drawn to him. But is Jeffrey truly just here for work, or does he have an ulterior motive? His interactions with Nina hint at a deeper story, one that could have serious consequences if the wrong secrets come to light. Meanwhile, Vaugh's entrance carries a different weight, one of authority, discipline, and silent danger. As Jocelyn's WSB handler, Vaughn is responsible for shaping her into a weapon, ensuring that she meets the expectations of an agency that does not tolerate weakness. However, as her training intensifies, so does the tension between them. Vaughn relentlessly pushes Jocelyn to her limits, testing her in ways that force her to question who she is becoming. He is both an obstacle and a mystery, making their dynamic all the more complicated. General Hospital's writers caught making this continuity error. There's strong speculation on social media that suggests the writers of General Hospital have made a continuity error when it comes to the history of the Quatermain estate. Some fans have pointed out that Edward Quatermain had never owned the Quatermain estate. Instead, the property was bought by Alan when he moved to Port Charles. It wasn't until he was trying to reconcile with Monica did he gift her the estate. It's also been noted that the fences and property boundaries were established well before Alan had purchased the property. Needless to say, General Hospital fans and critics had a lot to say about the matter. Some even commented with, "I feel like this is one of the show's biggest regrets, not having the Quatermain mansion be the ancestral home for the family." Because they want to treat it as such, but know that they can't, because they have told us ad nauseum that Alan bought the property for Monica. and now they want to have it both ways. Another critic wrote, "It is just like the show acting like the Q's always being part of Port Charles, which wasn't the case. The entire Q family was from Southampton, not Port Charles." General Hospital spoilers. What's next in Port Charles? Alan was recruited to GH by Dr. 𝚍𝚊𝚑 as a doctor. His family followed him here. So all this old alleged Port Charles Q history, prior to 1977/1978, it all a retcon. And then there was this comment as well. And real estate title insurance has been a thing since the late 1800s, so Alan certainly secured that at the closing. Not like he didn't have access to Q lawyers despite being a doctor, and Edward would have double-checked everything. They're going to have to write Monica out and bump her off soon. I wonder what will happen to Monica's estate then. That could be interesting. General Hospital spoilers indicate that it's only a matter of time before Drew Quartermain gets his comeuppance. Not only is he keeping the major secret that he was having sex with his girlfriend, 𝚍𝚎𝚊𝚑 mother, Nina Reeves, a secret, but Drew's actions of late, if realized by Willow, would even further jolt her. Drew has also seemingly grown obsessed with Willow, and also seems to keep tabs on her. If these secrets and realizations finally come to the surface, Willow would ultimately leave Drew faster than a racehorse. Drew will not take this well, and it could lead to some surprises. The truth finally comes out as it is revealed to Willow that her boyfriend and her mother were having sex. This would send Willow into a tailspin, and she would start to see what everyone has been saying about Drew is actually true. Willow would realize that Drew is manipulative, calculating, and duplicitous. This would destroy Drew, as he does love Willow, but he also loves controlling her. Losing that control would plague him relentlessly, and he would not know what to do. Drew Quartermain tries to win 𝚍𝚎𝚑𝚑 back. Drew would do anything once he loses Willow to win her back. He will pursue her incessantly, and would not stop until she forgives him. However, in this case, Willow cannot find forgiveness in her heart, and she would shun him. This would further impale Drew and lead him into a state of complete and utter desperation. Drew Quartermain decides to kidnap 𝚍𝚎𝚑𝚑. Desperately in love with Willow and no longer able to control her, Drew would believe that the only option he has is to kidnap her and hold her hostage until she can forgive him. He would not hurt Willow, but his control of her would resume, and Willow would see even more that Drew was not the person that she thought he was. Drew would hold Willow against her will, but take care of her as he wants to be the only person in her life. He would tell her that he will let her go when they can heal their relationship. Willow, distraught by her situation and angered by not being able to see her children, would act in desperate fashion to escape Drew. She would be forced to trick him many times, and she may even have to hurt him or even kill him to escape the situation that Drew put her in. Eventually, Willow would overcome this obstacle, and Drew would go down one way or another. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that Willow will leave Drew when the truth is revealed? What will Drew do to win Willow back? Will Drew have to resort to drastic measures, like kidnapping, to control her again and win back her love? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.